It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. And apparently, an elite quarterback is going to be tied to the 49ers every single day because Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions have discussed that they're going to part ways, and now Detroit is going to move on from Matt Stafford and are looking to execute a trade. Of course, are the 49ers a destination that you would like, and at what price?
Matt Stafford's a very talented quarterback, and I think the key word here is talented. He's had some great seasons. He's had some not so great seasons. He throws a lot of interceptions. His completion percentage is not the highest. He hasn't played very much winning football, but that's not all on him. The Lions are the Lions. They were the Lions before he went there. They'll be the Lions after he leaves.
That's true.
So you can't blame that all on him. He's definitely got more physical ability and arm talent than Jimmy Garoppolo has. That's obvious.
Yeah.
What needs to be figured out is what is he worth? How much better is he than, or at all, than Jimmy Garoppolo? And what are we willing to give up? I definitely am not willing to give up that number 12 pick for him. I think anything else is in play, but, obviously within reason. But, I mean, I don't know. That's why basically my bottom line is I don't want to give up that number 1 pick for him.
I don't disagree with you. I don't think he's worth the number one pick in this year's draft, next year's draft, the year after that draft. There's no first-round pick that Matt Stafford is worthy of us giving up in order to attain or acquire him. As Horst said, mid-60% completion percentage for his last 6-7 years in the league. The upside for Matt Stafford is that his yards, the yards that he throws for, the touchdowns he throws for, are something along the lines of significantly better than what Jimmy Garoppolo's best season in San Francisco was. And the hard part is that Jimmy G's best season, you don't know if it's his best season, his worst season, if that's his floor, his ceiling. You don't know. He's only had 1 full year as a starter where he's been healthy. He can't stay healthy other than that. It's a big, big risk going forward with Jimmy Garoppolo because you don't know what he's going to be. And you know what Matt Stafford is. What you aren't sure, and what no one's really sure about Matt Stafford, is what is he when he has a competent run game and an elite defense. Mm-hmm. And how you feel about this Matt Stafford rumor. Do you think it's possible? And then what do you think it would cost?
Well, I think it would be nice to get him with an elite play caller like Kyle Shanahan. Plus, I want you guys to hear this. Matt Stafford is one of 2 players that have completed over 45,000 yards passing and under 150 picks. There's only 2 players in history. It's Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. So if you start thinking about it like that, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions and he plays well. This year he kind of graded out to kind of 12th overall in the league. His QBR wasn't, over the top, still better than Matt Ryan. It's sat at 15. So there's that. Plus there's the savings financially that you get from getting Matt Stafford. You'll save close to $4 million, as Horst pointed out when we were doing our pre-show meeting. So that's big. Now, what it takes to get him is the question, because I'm with you guys. I wouldn't give up the 12th overall pick. There's a lot of 49er fans that would, but I wouldn't do that. I would be willing to give away 2 2s, or I'd be willing to give away a 2022 first-round pick because I believe it'll be the end of the first round. So I would be okay with that. Because I think Matt Stafford could elevate the 49ers to another level because I've seen consistent play from him. He also could, benefit huge from the gadget-type plays, the horizontal offense that Kyle Shanahan runs, make it easier. His completion percentage will go from mid-60s, probably closer to 70%. So all of a sudden, he's going to get better passes, higher percentage passes, and these guys like Kittle, Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel will run after the catch and make his numbers look really good. He's had great playmakers, but these guys are really good.
Yeah, he definitely does a couple things Jimmy doesn't do well, very well. One, he can stretch the field vertically.
Yeah.
Jimmy does not. I'm not sure if he can't or won't do that, but it doesn't seem to be his thing. We haven't seen a whole lot of that out of the Niners offense in the past decade. So that's one thing he would bring in right away is he's got one of the strongest arms in football, and he can definitely get the ball up the field. And 2, he can fit the ball into tight windows better than Jimmy. He's got a little bit of gunslinger in him, which is a good thing and a bad thing when it comes to guys like that.
Can be.
Because sometimes they trust their arm a little too much and throw into situations they shouldn't throw into. The saving $4 million thing I think is really big, because if the cap stays at 175, Matt Stafford is definitely at least even, him and Jimmy. I think Stafford's a little bit better player, and every million they can save is really important. I mean, $4 million can sign a starter.
Correct.
Might get juice back.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Very true as well. Very true as well.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's a big deal. And the other thing about Stafford, he's definitely had more good years than Jimmy. And Jimmy has not shown the ability to stay healthy. As much as I like the guy, has not shown the ability to stay healthy in the NFL. Stafford has played 16 games almost every year except for like 2 in his career. So
he has a game-winning drive with a dislocated, separated shoulder. I mean, the guy is an absolute savant in terms of just the physicality that he plays with, the toughness. Matt Stafford is known for his toughness. And that toughness, I think, translates well to this team, which is built around an idea of toughness. You got a tough defense, stingy defense, doesn't bend, doesn't break. I think he fits in well with the culture. I think getting him out of Detroit is a good thing. Not only do I think that the saving $4 million would help, Matt Stafford, unlike Jimmy Garoppolo, has already made his money as well. So there is a chance you bring a guy like Stafford in who's looking to get out of Detroit, looking for a culture change, looking to win. And he may be willing to make more sacrifices that a guy like Jimmy won't make. Because why? Jimmy's been in cultures of success in New England. He's been in those cultures. He's been around those things, but he hasn't made the money. Jimmy's not going to be willing to sacrifice the money for winning because Jimmy's already been in a situation where he's won. He doesn't want to have to sacrifice to be in that winning culture. He'd rather just get traded and go somewhere else. Someone like Matt Stafford has not been in a winning culture. He wants to win, and he's already been paid. So he might be willing to take less. He might be able to restructure and save a little bit more on top of what you get from just trading him.
The other part that Matt Stafford has an advantage over Jimmy G is just playmaker ability. When he doesn't, he gets out of the pocket, he makes plays. That's something that you don't see very much from Jimmy Garoppolo. When he does get outside the pocket, his passes are somewhat errant. He's not always on, online like he should be. And Matt Stafford can make all the throws. And I think that would really open up Kyle Shanahan's offense. That's the biggest thing, is we need a quarterback that can make all the throws. Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager, but to the highest level. I wouldn't put him on some of the other levels. He is to the highest level. But when it comes down to it, in the biggest game, you need playmakers. And I think that Matt Stafford is a little bit more of a playmaker than Jimmy Garoppolo. In fact, I think he's a tier above him as far as quarterback play goes. And I think the 49ers get somebody that's right on the verge of top 10. I don't put Jimmy Garoppolo even close to that now. So I think that I would probably make this deal for the right price. It's a lot cheaper than some of the other quarterbacks that they would have to trade for. Plus, you get him, and then right away your playmakers are better. George Kittle down the field plays are bigger. The 49ers can also get Brandon Ayuk down the field and stretch the defense vertically, like Horst said, horizontally with Deebo Samuel. Now they're completely hard to cover. Raheem Mostert's game is going to change. They can't put 8 in the box with Matt Stafford there because at least he puts the fear of God into the defense.
That's right. Jimmy
Garoppolo puts the fear of nothing into no one. No one is afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Understand how crazy this is. Yeah. If you had said, none of us would have said this at the beginning of this season coming into this year. None of us would have made that statement right there or agreed with that statement right there. That's how much things can change in just a 17-week season of football in the NFL. How quickly the landscape can change. How quickly that window can close. The Niners, if you want to keep this window open, you got to make this move.
I think it changed in the Super Bowl, actually. When you don't score in the fourth quarter, and that's all you have to do is score one time to finish somebody off, and they didn't do it. And I know Kyle gets conservative and tries to hold on, and the defense could have stopped them, but the fact that they didn't, that was one of the wholesale things of the 49ers that won championships, is they put the metal, the pedal to the metal, and they always scored, and they were able to win games. And that's something that the 49ers just haven't had, even since the Jim Harbaugh days. A fantastic defense, and then the offense is lacking. We have an offensive guru We need to get him all the weapons that he has. Right now, he's playing without a queen in his chessboard. He needs the queen to be able to do what he can. Maybe Matt Stafford is that guy. And if he is, the 49ers need to make that move. And I think that if he is, they will be happy to make this move. I just hope they don't reach with the pick 12.
The only thing, I agree with pretty much everything you just said, and I thought it was well spoken. The only thing that worries me is what you guys both talked about with the coming from losing culture, is I hope that Stafford's a winner and it was the Lions bringing him down.
That's a fair point.
Because that is the one risk you're taking on. He's definitely been a stats guy his whole career. And by all accounts and purposes, he's supposed to be a good guy, good person. So I'm not taking any shots at Matt Stafford. I don't know a whole lot about him as a person. But I just hope he's got a winning mindset and it hasn't been damaged after all those years.
I mean, do you think... Yeah. I mean, Matt Stafford's probably worried about his legacy at this point, right? He's the number one overall pick. He's probably very motivated to get out there and win football
And he's not talked about. I mean, you brought up the stat that put him in the same category in Aaron Rodgers, but no one would ever dare compare the two or make any sort of comparison or put them in the same stratosphere. So for Matt Stafford,
what's his winning percentage against Aaron Rodgers, like -10?
Probably, it probably worse than -10. But and this is what I mean. It's no matter what way you slice this. No matter what the 49ers do with the quarterback position, there's an inherent risk involved.
Yeah.
The question is, what risk are you willing to take? Are you willing to take the risk of the thing you know and staying with Jimmy Garoppolo and not going into the unknown? Because again, the known being what Jimmy Garoppolo's potential ceiling is, that we've all seen it and it's not going to get any better than that, or that this is just his floor and his ceiling is sky high, but that there's a lot of room for error in there. Or do you go with the unknown? Do you go with an aged guy like Matt Ryan who's shown he's an MVP candidate? Do you take a chance on a guy with a hose in Matt Stafford who has never had the things around him to be extremely successful as a unit? He's never had the cohesive defense, the run game, all of it dialed in at once, and he's had a legit threat of a contender team like he would in San Francisco. Or do you go a different route with a young rookie quarterback without the inexperience, but who has all the room in the world for growth and all the room in the world for potential and being everything and being molded essentially into the system to fit exactly what the team, no matter what, there's an inherent risk. The question is which one are you as fans and, more importantly, the front office willing to take?
Because it's a lot about cost. You know, it's going to cost to move up in the draft to get one of these 4 quarterbacks, because they'll probably be gone in top 10.
Yeah.
That's the way it's looking now. That's always how it trends, and it gets even worse as we get closer to the draft. What is it going to cost to get Deshaun Watson? An arm and a leg is what it's going to cost, and that's going to hamstring the 49ers for the future. And then what is it going to cost to get someone like Matt Stafford or Matt Ryan? Those are way more cost effective, which means you could still optimize, through the draft, optimize your team through free agency, free up cap space, and then make plays. So it makes sense for the 49ers to evaluate these two decisions. Mm-hmm. There's going to be big debate on whether Matt Stafford is that much better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe Matt Stafford is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Agreed.
But I don't know if the 49ers think he's that much better. And if it's going to come down to whether Kyle, because I know he always evaluates these players no matter what, if he thinks that he can run his offense better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And if he can't, then I think they'll have to find another way. But it doesn't bring out of the question that they could trade for Matt Stafford and still draft a quarterback later in the draft.
It's true.
And hopefully they make a move at quarterback. I think that everyone's kind of disenfranchised with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is upset with the situation. And then it'll be about finding Jimmy Garoppolo a good situation to go to, because I know the 49ers will want to take care of him.
And they should. They should take care of him. In all honesty, like, Jimmy came in and did everything we all hoped he would do as a 49ers fan. It just, since getting us to that situation, getting us to the Super Bowl, ever since that loss, it's just gone sideways. Every possible way they could go for everyone involved, for us, for him, his health. It might be best, though, for everyone involved, for everyone to go their own way and do their own thing.
Yeah, the way I would say this, though, like, to finish our thoughts on him, on Stafford, is I do think he's better than Jimmy. I would rather have him than any rookie except Trevor Lawrence. And I would rather have him than Matt Ryan.
I'm not
I
surprised.
think everyone's shocked by that.
Just totally blown away.
But
There is a guy in the draft I would rather have than him, and that's Zach Wilson. But I wouldn't trade up, and I wouldn't want to spend enough to get him. So Matt Stafford is a cheaper option, but I think Wilson's upside is very high.
Extremely high. But what do you think?
Yep.
49ers fans, let us know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, make sure you like and subscribe to the page. That way you are here. You're notified. You hit that notification bell every time we post a video. More news, more rumors. Our regular Tuesday and Friday episodes at 5:30. You're here. You know what's going on. You're the first ones here, the first ones to know. That way you can impress everybody with all that 49ers knowledge you got, courtesy of the 49ers Cutback Podcast.
Yeah, join the conversation. It's important. Get on there and chat it up. It's good to see what you guys say, what you guys are thinking, and how it relates to what we're thinking.
yeah, it's a good time on there. We'll respond. We'll talk back.
True.
Absolutely. Until next time, 49ers fans, you stay safe.
And remember, the right way.
Is always the 49er way.
200 subscribers, boys.